Inside your body, a war is being fought on a scale so enormous it would make every battle in human history look like a minor disagreement. And the terrifying part? You have absolutely no idea it's happening. Imagine you are shrunk down to the size of a bacterium, 1 micrometer tall. You have been injected directly into a human bloodstream, and within seconds, something massive, something relentless, something that has no concept of mercy begins hunting you. Not because you are a threat, simply because you do not belong. Welcome to the most violent, sophisticated, and brutally efficient killing machine ever assembled. It is not a weapon built by humans. It has been evolving for 500 million years, and it lives inside every single one of us. Let's go deeper. You are now floating through a river of blood. The environment around you is extraordinary. Red blood cells, the color of deep crimson, are rushing past you by the billions, each one carrying oxygen to tissues that are screaming for it. The fluid surrounding you, the plasma, is warm, slightly sticky, and absolutely packed with proteins, antibodies, and chemical signals flying in every direction like frantic radio transmissions during a crisis. Then something changes. A chemical alarm goes off. It is called a cytokine signal, and it spreads through the bloodstream like a shockwave. Something has breached the body, a pathogen has entered, and the immune system is now receiving coordinates. The first responders arrive almost instantly. These are your neutrophils, the most abundant white blood cells in the human body. There are roughly 50 billion of them patrolling your system at any given moment. They are fast, aggressive, and they do not negotiate. A single neutrophil can detect chemical traces left behind by bacteria from an enormous distance relative to its size, and it will chase that signal down with terrifying precision. When it reaches its target, it does not simply destroy it. It engulfs it, drowning the pathogen in a cocktail of toxic chemicals and digestive enzymes. Some neutrophils go even further, releasing a web of DNA fibers called neutrophil extracellular traps, essentially casting a net made of their own genetic material to snare anything trying to escape. If you are still reading this and wondering whether to stick around, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because what is coming next is even more extraordinary. This channel explores the science that lives just beneath the surface of everyday reality, and we do it every single week. Now back to the battlefield. You have survived the neutrophils somehow, but the war is far from over, because moving through the tissue walls, responding to the same cytokine alarm, are the macrophages. If neutrophils are the infantry, macrophages are the tanks. These cells can be up to 20 times larger than a red blood cell. They patrol tissues rather than just blood vessels, and their job is to consume everything that has been marked as foreign. They use a process called phagocytosis, essentially swallowing pathogens whole and digesting them from the inside out. But here's the extraordinary part. After a macrophage destroys something, it does not just discard the remains. It holds up fragments of the destroyed pathogen like a trophy, presenting them on its surface to alert the rest of the immune system about exactly what kind of enemy has been encountered. Those fragments get passed to the T cells, and this is where the immune system crosses from brute force into something approaching biological intelligence. T cells are lymphocytes, and they come in specialized varieties. Helper T cells act like commanders, reading the information presented by macrophages and coordinating the broader immune response. Killer T cells, also known as cytotoxic T cells, are given the precise molecular profile of the enemy and then hunt down every single cell in the body, displaying that signature. They punch holes in infected cells using proteins called perforins, injecting chemicals that trigger the infected cell to self-destruct from within. It is a targeted assassination carried out at the molecular level. Meanwhile, B cells are quietly manufacturing something that will outlast the entire battle: antibodies. These are Y-shaped proteins designed with extraordinary specificity to match a single pathogen's surface. A single B cell can produce roughly 2,000 antibodies per second. These antibodies flood the bloodstream, attaching to pathogens and marking them for destruction, neutralizing their ability to infect new cells and clumping them together to make them easier for macrophages to locate and consume. And then there's the complement system, a cascade of proteins that activate each other in sequence like falling dominoes, punching holes directly through the outer membranes of bacteria until they literally burst apart from internal pressure. By the time the battle winds down, the cleanup begins. Regulatory T cells move through the tissue, sending signals to stand down, preventing the immune system from attacking the body's own healthy cells in the chaos. Anti-inflammatory signals replace the alarm cytokines. The swelling, heat, and redness that mark the site of infection begin to fade. But something remarkable has been left behind. Memory cells, specific lymphocytes that carry an exact record of the pathogen that was just defeated. These cells can survive for decades, some researchers believe potentially for an entire human lifetime. If that same pathogen ever enters the body again, the memory cells activate within hours rather than days, launching a response so fast and so targeted that the infection is eliminated before you even develop a single symptom. You survived. Or rather, the body surrounding you survived. And it did so not with a single weapon, but with a layered, adaptive, self-learning system of unimaginable complexity that has been refined across geological timescales. Here is what should genuinely amaze you. This entire process happens continuously, around the clock, in every human body on this planet, without a single conscious thought. Hundreds of battles are won and lost in your bloodstream every day without you feeling a thing. The immune system is not just a defense mechanism. It is the closest thing in nature to a living, breathing, thinking military force, and it is entirely yours. If this blew your mind, you already know what to do. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a deep dive into the science that makes your world extraordinary. The next one will take you somewhere even stranger. We promise.